Okay, inshallah, in this sharing session, I try to explain to share to all of you about the why we need the DDR in our research and what is DDR and every phases in DDR. So I hope my explanation can give your clearly understanding about the DDR. Okay. All right. No. So number one is we go to why we need CGR in our research. Okay. If we read the book from the Professor Rita Ritchie and Professor James Klein from the Florida University state about the DDR is very important because a traditional approach do not provide sufficient scientific evidence. Okay, actually based on Ritchie and Klein, traditional research approach do not provide sufficient scientific evidence to facilitate understanding of the design and development process. When we talk about the design and development process, it's focused to develop a new product. That product can be any products like a model, module, instrument, or apps, or website, and etc. Okay. All right. From Ritchie also state about the research requirement related to products such as model, module, and others using by designer and developer are critical. Okay, this is a very critical. If you want to develop, if you want to design a new product, that is a very critical. This is a very crucial. You must get the information. You must get the knowledge from the expert. Actually, expert here, it can be a designer or it can be the developer. All right. And Ritchie also state about the most of the product developed have been empirical tested and validated. Okay. So a little of the product is not validated and tested by the user.
User. Jamil, apa jadi warna hijau macam tu?
Ya, Shaliza, boleh saya bantu? Shaliza? Okay. Okay, tak ada apa Alright. That's why we need the DDR to help to develop a new product and to make sure that product can be used in reality. Okay, that is from the Rita Ritchie and Professor James Klein state about it. Okay, so kalau yang orang Melayu ni kita perlukan, actually we need the DDR because traditional research before this it's not show and prove the scientific evidence. Not enough to show about the scientific evidence. Why we must and compulsory to develop a new product. All right. Okay. I hope you all of you can understand why we need the DDR in our research. Okay. All right. What's DDR? So number 2, what's the DDR? Why we need the DDR? Okay. All right. If we look at to the definition of the DDR, Rita Ritchie and James Klein state also about DDR is a systematic investigation or research of the design, development, and evaluation process that aims to build an empirical basis for the creation of instructional and non-instructional product and equipment, or new and improved model where each phase will be guide the development. Okay, kalau kita tengok DDR ni, dia satu approach yang bantu kita as a researcher to help the researcher to develop, to design, to develop and to evaluate that product from zero until the end. Okay, meaning that from you start your product from zero, then after that, after you develop your product, then your product will be tested using the to look at about the usability or to look at about the effectiveness until that will be give a show. They show you the result. That product okay or non-okay to use and in reality. All right, that is from Ritchie and James Klein. Okay, if we look at to the view from the Emil and Ridhuan and Hannafin state, DDR one of the approach, a very systematical approach and flexible methodology to produce conceptual sensitivity, design guideline and theory that can guide other researcher. Maknanya DDR ni, dia boleh bantu kita as a researcher bagaimana kita nak laksanakan. Apakah what the aspect we must look to make sure our product is a good, is a best, in a very effective to the user. Okay, that is the definition of the DDR. All right. Now we go to the concept of DDR. Exactly, DDR is a science. Why? Why we say DDR is a science? Because it must follow and it must based on the what the situation happened. Maybe last 20 years, if we want to develop a model, we just use the very simple methodology. Just use descriptive statistics like a score mean to look about the perspective of view from the user. But now, maybe if you want to develop a new product, example, you want to develop a model, that model cannot based on the perception. That model cannot develop by the view of the user, but that model must develop from the expert. Okay, from the expert in the field. All right, that's why we call DDR is a science. It can make a pragmatic. It can use the variety of the methodology to make sure our product is a very competent. It's a product is a very competent. It's a product a very good, friendly user to in the market, right? So that's why when we talk about the science, the other one of the science, it is tied to understanding built on the replicates of the empirical research, where model and procedure should be validated and solution to problems should be supported by the data. Meaning that if you want to develop a product, okay, you want to start to develop a product, in the empirical research, like a PhD and master student, the problem statement is a very important. So in the DDR, actually we have the analysis phase to look at the problem from the problem statement, to look at the issues from the problem statement. That is a very important to make sure that issues happen in your location of the research. Alright? Okay, so itu yang pentingnya. Sebab tu saya kata DDR is a science. Sebab dia bermula walaupun kita kata dalam problem statement we have the issues. We have the issue in problem statement. But maybe that issues is not happen in our location of the research. Alright? So all of the phases in the DDR, we must get the data. The data will help you as a researcher to prove as a evidence that is the empirical research. Okay, that is a concept. So before I go to the next slide, I hope all of you here can understand why we need the DDR in our research, what the definition of the DDR and the concept of the DDR. All right. Now I will show you about the justification. Why to choose a DDR as our approach in research. Okay. Actually, DDR is flexible research method in which we have the analysis, we have the design, we have the development, and evaluation process are carried out in a collaboration with the researcher and participate in real practice setting. We know about the problem. Just now I state about we have the need analysis, what the function of the analysis to clear cut about the issues in your problem statement. So meaning that from the literature, we develop a problem statement, then we need an analysis to prove that problem in our problem statement happen in a research location. That's why we need the DDR in our research. And each phase, every phase in this approach, inshallah, will guide the development of the product developed and provide empirical evidence of its usability. Meaning that here is we start from zero about our product. We start with an analysis, and then the next step we go to the design and development. And after we finish develop our product, we must test or validate our product. It can be a usability, it can be effectiveness, it can be about the impact, about the efficiency of our products. That's why we need the DDR to use to develop our product in our research. Right? So that is justifications. Okay? Kalau orang Melayu punya, saya cakap Melayu pula. Ni, Su, kena banyak dua ni. Sebab cakap bahasa Inggeris, cakap bahasa Melayu. Okay? Okay, DDR ni adalah kaedah pendidikan yang sangat fleksibel lah. It's very flexible. Di mana we have the analysis, we have the design, we have the development, and we have the evaluation process. Then all of the steps will involve with the researcher, with the expert, with the participant in persekitaran amalan sebenar in real practice setting. Right? Okay, that is justification, a strong justification why we need the DDR in our research. Okay, now, approach of DDR. What we want to, if we use the DDR, what's the approach we will use? Because before this, all of us, actually we just know about the qualitative approach, quantitative approach, mixed method approach. But if you use the DDR, you can look at about the statement, design and development. Research use a wide variety of methodologies. Right? Here, this book from the Ritchie and Klein state, in DDR, we have the variety of the methodologies we can use. That's methodologies. But we must justify why we choose that methodologies or method or measure our objective. Okay, here, just now, some of you asked me about what the difference of the AD, of the DDR, of the CD. Okay, here, the answer is design and development research is an umbrella term of the study of design and development using a broad collection of the traditional method and strategies, both quantitative and qualitative. Okay, all right. If you use the AD, you can use the AD, no problem. But DDR is the strategic or the what we call it umbrella term. In DDR, actually, we have the model AD. We have the CD model, we have the actual model, we have the Eastman model. Okay, DDR is approach, and the AD, Eastman, actual, CD, that is the model. I hope you can understand. If you want to use the only based on the CD, yes, you can use, but you must have the justification why you choose the CD as your base model to develop your product. All right? So I hope all of you can understand. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. All right. Okay. So, however, Many design and development studies that employ multiple research methods are not mixing the quantitative and qualitative orientation. So, actually, DDR is the one type of the multiple approach. Okay, the answer is DDR is one of the multiple approach because we can use any method in DDR. But if you, let's say, the example, you choose to use in the first phase, need analysis, you want to use the interview. Interview one type of the qualitative approach, right? You can use, but you must give the justification why you choose that method to evaluate, to measure your need analysis. Okay, I hope you can understand. Second example I give to you, maybe in the second phase, design and development, you can use the literature review to design, and you want to develop your product, you use the fuzzy Delphi method. In the fuzzy Delphi method, actually, it starts, if you look at to the fuzzy Delphi method, the start of the fuzzy Delphi method is the element, we can develop the element based on the literature review and based on the interview, right? After that, you want to develop the product, you will use the expert questionnaire, then you give to the expert, then after that you collect again, then you make the analysis. The analysis will show you about the numbers that is quantitative, right? So that's why here I'm not rigid to the quanti or quali. For me, both of this method must help each other. That's why DDR give the space to both of this approach. All right. So you can put in your thesis, your reka bentuk kajian ialah multiple approach method using the DDR. Right? So I hope that will answer your question just now. All right? Okay. Number three. The third is about the phases in DDR. Actually, basically, in DDR, we have the three phases. First, we call it the need analysis. I will explain about all of the phases. Number two is the design and development, and the third is the evaluations. So we go to the need analysis first. Okay, what you must write in your chapter 3 if you use the DDR? Okay, that is a compulsory. The procedure is every phases in DDR, you must put your purpose of the research. Example, in the need analysis, you want to know about the issues, to clear cut about the issues of problem statement, problems from the problem statement. So you must make the analysis. Okay, that is the purpose of the research. What methodology you use, what the method you use to measure all the objective in the need analysis. You must give the rationale you use that method and what the sampling technique you use to get the data from the need analysis. That is a 4 things for the 4 element is very compulsory to you to know, to state in your chapter 3 for the every phase. Alright? Okay, now we go to the need analysis. Okay, saya cakap Melayu, I speak in Malay first. Actually, need analisis keperluan. Need analysis on analisis keperluan is a fasa pertama dalam sebuah kajian pembangunan. The function is, for me lah, the function is sebagai lesen untuk jalankan kajian reka bentuk pembangunan. Okay, kenapa kita perlu need analysis ni? Saya cakap dah, in your problem statement, you state all the issues. Okay, actually to define the issues that happen in your research location or not, because your problem statement from the various of the literature varieties of journal you read, right? So, perkara yang pertama, fungsi dia ialah tu mengenal pasti isu. Yang kedua, bagaimana nak selesaikan isu tersebut. Alright. The first phase in development study is an analysis, serve as a license to carry out development design study. This phase is a very important because it serves to see two things. Identify the issues, define the issues, and after that, how to solve the issues. It's a very important in analysis. Apa itu analisis keperluan? What is analysis? Okay, from the McAdle state about the process of the carrying out a series of the activity to identify the problem or other issues in the work environment and determine whether improvement are the right course of action. Okay, that is from McAdle. Okay, dia satu proses. Kita jalankan beberapa siri aktiviti untuk kenal pasti masalah dan isu lain dalam sedang kerja dan menentukan sama ada we need the improvement or not. That's why saya cakap tadi, ni analisis ni, the function of the analysis to know the issues from the problem statement, and if you have the issues, what the next step is the how to solve the issues. That is from McAdle. If we look at the from McClip, state about analysis is a tool for making decision in the field of education and human resources. Okay, so based on this, both of the scholar, we need to make a need analysis in DDR. Okay, jangan salah faham ada setengah orang dia buat ni analisis untuk dapatkan elemen-elemen dalam fasa 2. Salah sebenarnya. Tak salah, tapi banyak kerja lah. Sebab fungsi analisis ni nak clear cut dia, the issues yang you state in your problem statement. Okay, okay, betul ada isu. Okay, so apa yang kita perlu buat? Kalau katalah perlu buat untuk bangunkan model, that the second phase to will help you to develop a new model. Okay, alright. This is example of the need analysis model. Okay, if you want to make an analysis, you must have the base model. That is very empirical. To make sure your research is very empirical, you must have the base model. Okay, kita perlukan satu model bila kita nak mengukur satu perkara. Okay, jadi you can choose if you want to use the need analysis model McClip, or you want to choose the McAdle need analysis model, or you want to use the U-Tout vacantage model. Up to you, based on you. Selalunya, basically, normally, in research relates with the ICT, we use the U-Tout model. Because U-Tout model come from the TAM model. The U-Tout model is the further model come from the TAM model, technology acceptance model. Okay, I show you the example of the model, need analysis model. That is very important if you want to measure the data in the need analysis. You can use this model. Alright, so you can explore this model or you can read this model in my books, inshallah. Alright, now we go to the method in the phase 1. Okay, I will talk in Malay first. Okay, bila kita nak buat need analysis ni, perkara paling pertama sekali kita tahu dah, need analysis ni fungsi dia untuk clear the issues from the problem statement. That's why dia kata pastikan kita clear tentang penyelesaian masalah kajian. Kenapa kita perlu clear? Sebab untuk bantu kita pilih metod yang tepat dan mampu mengukur soalan objek kajian. Itu yang pentingnya. Okay, kalau kita tengok, make sure we are clear about the statement of the research problem. Why do you need to clear? So that the chosen method meets and is able to measure the research question and objective. To make sure to help you, you get the true result, the exact result that show the problem from the problem statement. Okay? Okay, this is a method you can use. If you want to use, you want to measure the need analysis, you can use this method. You can use the interview. You can use the questionnaire. You can use Delphi method. You can use a fuzzy Delphi method. You can use the nominal group technique. Nominal group technique is one of the method will apply the focus group discussion. You can make an observation. Maybe your research about the behavior, about the character of the preschool student. You cannot give the questionnaire to pre-student to answer your questionnaire. But you can observe the character, the behavior of the preschool students. Or you can use a diary study, or you can use the achievement test. If you, let's say, use your research about the mathematics, you want to develop a new model, the best model to help the student to understand the mathematics problem, you can make the test, achievement test. From that result, that is a proof of to you about why you must develop a new product, a new model, right? This is a method in the phase 1. Actually, you can use various method, but if you use that method, you must clear about justification why you choose that method. Just now I state about if you want to look at about the behavior, about the character of the student in the preschool, you cannot give the questionnaire, right? You cannot use the fuzzy Delphi methods because fuzzy Delphi method compulsory to use the expert to answer your question. You cannot use the nominal group technique involved with the focus group discussion because preschool student cannot give their opinion. But what you can use the observation, you can use the diary study, you can use the achievement test, right? That is justification. Example of the justification why you choose that method in need analysis. All right? Okay. Now I show you, you can find this thesis because kebanyakan all of the student, Dr. Hidayatul, Dr. Amani, Dr. Narul Rabiha, mereka ni actually I have to make sure settle their PhD. Okay, all right. We can look at about the research, PhD research about the public health from Dr. Datul Fariha. She applied the 3 methods in the need analysis to get the data for the need analysis. First is from the literature review. It's a very compulsory to use the literature review. Because the literature review is a very important. That's why your supervisor said, please read again, because you can get all the information, all the problem from the literature review. The second, after Dr. Fariha made the literature review, she made the discussion, informal discussion with the Dr. Ridhuan, animal doctor, with the, veterinary doctor. And then the third, based on their experience as a researcher in the field simulation rabies outbreak 2016 in Kuching, Sarawak. Okay, that 3 method is the method Dr. Fariha used in the need analysis. How about Dr. Faris and Dr. Amani? Dr. Faris and Dr. Amani use the literature review, and based on literature review, he and she distribute the questionnaire to get the clear about the problem in the literature review. And Dr. Rabiha use the literature review and support and then make a interview. Right? Okay, saya tak tahu bengkel ni ada rakaman ke tak. Rasanya ada kot. Su, ada ke Su? Saya rasa ada. InsyaAllah. Okay. Alright. This is an example of the research in analysis. Okay. This one is the research objective or research question in need analysis. This one in Malay. I will show you in English. Okay. Example of the research activity for the DDR approach. Okay, silap ni. Okay. Tak apa. Kita tak silap. Okay. Okay. Actually, we have the 3 phases in DDR. We have a need analysis. Okay. Okay. Basically, in objective phase 1 as a prime objective for the analysis, we can put like this to define the need for generate skill element and value for WBS based engineering program at polytechnic measure based on the student view. Actually, I take from my PhD actually. Alright, the second, that is the primary objective for the objective need analysis objective. Okay. The second is objective of the second phase study, design and development, to design and develop a skills model to be carried out for the WBL based engineering program of the polytechnic measure based on the expert agreement. Okay, after I finish develop my product, I go to the third objective to evaluate the usability of the skill-based training curriculum model to the Malaysian Polytechnic WBS based engineering program based on the lecture review. Right? Okay. Ini adalah that. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Okay, Doktor. Tadi saya ada tengok slide yang tadi, sebelum tadi. It means kalau kita tak buat need analysis pun, kita based on LR sahaja without questionnaire, is it possible ataupun mesti ada ketiga-tiga kaedah tu juga?
Okay. Pada pandangan saya, kalau you PhD student, it's better you make the in literature review and you clarify the issues from the questionnaire or interview. Kalau untuk masters free research mungkin boleh, tetapi dia kena reach of the need analysis, reach of the data of literature review. Jawab ke?
Baik, thank you.
Alright. Okay, kita patah balik Okay, this one is the need analysis question, research objective, research question. Okay, very simple actually. I just ask the student about adakah terdapat data pendidikan berkaitan kemahiran generik secara berjadual sepanjang dia ikut pengajian tu. Very simple. Because of how this question come. It come from the problem statement. To clarify again. Yes, the issues state in the problem statement. That is happen in my research locations. Okay. So I will show you about the data. Okay, this one is the data. Okay, tengok data dia. From that data, we can make a summarize. We need to develop a new product, a new model to help the teacher to give the generate skill and values to other students. Okay, alright. Okay, boleh ke? Boleh, okay. Boleh ke fasa satu? If you have any question for the phase 1, do you understand about the phase 1? Hello.
Assalamualaikum Doktor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Ya, silakan. Seorang-seorang. Jangan meliput. Bagi signal kalau nak mencelah.
Saya boleh?
Kenalkan diri dulu.
Saya Syahidah, saya dari UiTM. Doktor, sekiranya kita guna... Saya Nur Syahidah binti Hashim dari UiTM Shah Alam. Saya tanya doktor, sekiranya fasa 1, saya Islamic Studies.
Supervisor siapa?
Supervisor Dr. Ridhuan.
Oh, student saya Oh. Lalu Syahidah Nur. Tak silap, okey.
Saya Syahidah Nur. Doktor, kalau fasa 1 kita buat pemerhatian dan juga analisis dokumen, adakah dia dah cukup rich untuk level PhD?
Cukup. Yeah. Okay.
Huh?
That is enough. That enough for you if the observation and the analysis of document can give and can answer the problems, the issues in problem statement.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay?
Terima kasih.
Tidak,
Terima kasih.
Right, James, saya datang ni. Okay. Okay, anything else? Anyone to ask me? Dr. Hassan ada
Ya.
Dr. Hassan. Okay?
Betul?
Ya, silakan.
Ya, saya Elis. Saya nak bertanya dari NCDRC. Supervisor saya Dr. Abdul Halim.
Okay.
Saya guna
Bapak Halim Masdan kah?
Abdul, ya.
Ada dokter, ada saya.
Alright, okay.
Saya guna DDR Type 2.
Okay.
Ya, di Type 2 itu kan tahapnya itu design and development fase 1, fase 2 itu model validation, dan tahap 3 itu model use. Apakah objektifnya itu harus ada need analysis atau tidak, dokter?
Okay. Izinkan saya menjawab ya, Ibu.
Ya.
Okay. Aman ya. Okay, actually, based on my experience, if I am a student, I'm not state about the type 1 or type 2 in DDR. Actually, type 1 and type 2 is not in DDR. That is from the developmental research. Before Prof. Richie and Prof. Rita Richie and Prof. James Klein make and write about the DDR, both of the scholars did about the DR, developmental research. Yes, the DR in developmental research, we have a two type. But when the both of the scholar produce about the DDR, all of the research in DDR must start with the need analysis, design and development, and the last is evaluation. Okay, Ibu? Boleh faham, Ibu?
Oke, dokter. Terima kasih.
Okay, Dr. Hassan Marzuki. Okay, nak Viva 20 bulan ni.
Baik, insyaAllah. Terima kasih.
Okay, ada soalan lain?
Saya Dr. Saya Jamalia daripada Fakulti Sains dan Matematik, bawah penyela Dr. Syakinah Desa. Dia ada bersama pagi ni. Saya nak tanya berkaitan
saya Dr. Syakinah ada.
saya nak tanya berkaitan dengan fasa 1 saya untuk need analisis. Maksudnya saya gunakan LR dan juga survey lah. Maksudnya saya akan develop instrumen saya iaitu survey. Okay, maksudnya berdasarkan kepada kajian lepas. So maksudnya bila saya dah develop instrumen tersebut, instrumen tersebut saya perlu buat validity dan juga reliability. So maksudnya mesti ada pilot testing. Betul ke Doktor?
Dalam need analisis?
Ya.
Ya, wajib.
Ya, okay. Jelas.
Dia macam ni, apa saja method you use, what the method you use, any method you use, you must follow the procedure. If you use the questionnaire, you adopt and adapt the questionnaire from others' questionnaire, you must make the validity and reliability. You must look at about the alpha chromosomes. You must look at about the validity and so on lah. If you use the interview in your need analysis, you must follow the procedure of the interview. You must have the protocol interview. You must follow all the procedure of the method. Okay?
Okey Doktor. Okey, satu lagi Doktor, berkaitan ni juga. Maksudnya kalau saya untuk ni fasa 1 kita nak tentukan keperluan. So saya just tengok dari segi kesediaan dan juga penerimaan, boleh ke Doktor? Maksudnya
Untuk
dari segi pandangan pensyarah, fasa 1. Maksudnya saya tengok tahap kesediaan dan juga penerimaan. Macam saya berkaitan dengan pembangunan model, berkaitan dengan teknologi. So saya tengok tahap kesediaan juga penerimaan dalam berdasarkan pandangan pensyarah.
Okay, kenapa you nak bangunkan model tu? What's the issue?
Sebab tiada panduan khusus dalam pembangunan model.
So, you nak bangunkan guna ICT, betul tak? Teknologi, right?
Ya.
That's why you want to know about the level of the knowledge and skill of the lecturer in technology, right?
Ya, Doktor.
Okay, itu satu. Yang kedua, you kena tanya juga what's the issue? Isu dalam problem statement tadi.
Maksudnya dari segi saya tengok dari segi penerimaan dia lah.
penerimaan dia dan juga betul ke dalam problem statement you tu kata apa dalam isu dalam problem statement tu. Yang itu you bawa masuk tanya. Betul ke?
Okey.
Right?
So satu segi lagi macam tadi kan kalau
Ni dah
doktor
macam
buat
coaching hang seorang je ni. Okey, silakan.
kalau jumpa doktor boleh.
Okey, lagi Jamil ya. Okey.
Okey, lagi satu kalau macam doktor tadi kan doktor buat dari segi perspektif macam saya kalau nak buat model instructional maksudnya saya punya idea untuk pensyarah dan juga pelajar lah tapi saya fokus pada pensyarah. So maksudnya ada isu tak? Maksudnya kalau saya just jalankan analisis tu ada dari segi pandangan pensyarah sahaja.
Saya cadangkan kalau you nak buat model untuk pensyarah, buat untuk pensyarah saja. Kalau nak buat untuk pelajar, buat pelajar saja.
Okey. Okey, jelas doktor.
Nanti kita tak ada fokus. Itu yang bahaya. That is a problem.
Tak boleh buat kedua-dua kan? So better satu.
Boleh buat kedua tapi takut nanti banyak soalan yang akan tanya pada awak. Jadi awak tak fokus nanti.
Okey. So maksudnya saya pilih salah satu sajalah.
Yes.
Okey, terima kasih doktor.
Alright. Okay. Alright, kita teruskan insyaAllah.
Doctor,
Yes.
yeah, I'm in Muli here, UPSI student. I have a question, doctor. Okay, I'm using the DDR type 1 for the phase 1, semi-structure interview and observation. So let's say if I want to use it, observation sokongan, can I use triangulation method, doctor?
Saya putus-putus lah suara awak. Repeat again. Repeat. Not repeat again. Repeat saja. Nanti Dr. Hassan tegur saya.
Can you the line? Okay, okay, I'm using the DDR type 1, doctor, for the phase 1. Can you hear me, doctor?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, for the phase 1, I'm doing the semi-structured interview and observation. So if there are two options, whether I should use it separately, the observation and semi-structure separately, or as a sokongan. If I use it.
Alright, what the justification you want to use the semi-structure interview and observation? If you use the semi-structure interview, that will help you to get the answer or the data for the analysis?
Answer.
If you just use the semi-structure interview, that will enough for you to get the data of the need analysis?
I think that's why, doctor, I think it would be good if I do the observation.
Okay. So, meaning that you must use the observation to support your semi-structure interview?
Yes, doctor.
Alright, no problem, it's okay.
So, can I use
any methods, no problem. But you must have the justification. That is very important. That's why I ask you why you want to make an observation. Is it enough or not if you use the semi-structure interview to get the data for need analysis? If not enough, you can use the observation. No problem.
Okay. So can I use it as a triangulation method, doctor?
Yeah.
Triangulation.
No problem. But you must follow the. If you use that method, just now I said to you, if you use that method, you must follow the procedure of that method. That is a very compulsory. If your method have the triangulation, you must use the triangulation, right?
Okay, doctor.
If you are interested in interview, you must go to the interview workshop.
Okay. Thank you so much, doctor. The second question.
Okay.
The second question.
Okay, second question.
I'm doing Eddie. So can I use the model Sandaran for the each and every phase, doctor? I'm already using Eddie for the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So is it okay for me to use other model Sandaran for the each and every phases?
Eddie is the base model for if you develop a module. Eddie is the base model for the development model for the phase 2. Or if you make a need analysis, you must have also need-based model for need analysis. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Every phase, you must have the base model. Okay? In the phase need analysis phase, you use the base model of need analysis. Okay? That model can help you to get the data for the need analysis. For both base model for the second phase, design and develop, you must use the content model. What you want to develop. Example is if you want to develop the counseling model, you must look at about the counseling model, previous counseling model, then you must justify why you choose that model as a base model for the second phase.
Okay.
And the third, evaluation. You must have the reference model or base model for the evaluation. If you want to look at about the outcome, you can use a Kirkpatrick. If you want to look at the effectiveness, you must look at about the effective model as a base model for the evaluation. Okay? Right?
Okay, doctor.
Wait, I want my earphone.
Halo dokter, selamat pagi dokter. Morning dokter.
Yes, good morning.
Saya Patrick. Saya buat DDR, merupakan pelajar UPSI. Dan tadi soalan tadi berkaitan dengan soalan yang saya kebetulan nak tanya juga. Ya, berkaitan dengan untuk penilaian selepas implementasi modul dan sekarang fasa penilaian, saya guna interview. So based on doktor punya explanation tadi, kalau daripada interview itu kita dapat menjawab research question dan mencapai objektif, maksudnya itu observation dah tak perlu kah?
Okay, nanti kita akan kupas dalam evaluation.
Oh, okay doktor.
Right. Okay. Can we continue our sessions? Okay, now we go to the second phase. Second phase talk about the design and development. Actually, the second phase in this phase is the second phase in development studies. Okay, product design and development take place here. You will use what's the method to develop your product. This is depend on the method used. There are methods that require expert in decision making and vice versa lah. Okay, actually, in this method, from my opinion, from my view, I suggest to you when you want to design and develop the product, the best is you must choose the method involved with the expert. With the expert. Like fuzzy Delphi method, like focus group discussion with the expert, or like an interview with the expert. That is a very important, because in this phase is very critical phase, because you want to develop the new product. That product must come from the expert view. Okay, among the product is a model, module, questionnaire for the evaluations, application, prototype, website, framework, guideline, and etc. You can develop in this phase. Right? Okay, I will show you this method. This method you can use for in the second phase. Basically, you can use the expert. If you choose to use the fuzzy Delphi or Delphi method or interpretive structural modelings or fuzzy analytical hierarchy process, that method will involve with the expert. This is a very important. But if you use the PLS, SAM, that is based on the view, because the numbers of the sample in both of these methods terlalu tinggi, very higher numbers, because we just get the view and the perception from the user. But if you choose the expert method like the fuzzy Delphi, the number of the expert only in 10 to 20. If we look at from the Adler and Ziegler state on the fuzzy Delphi method, the number of expert can involve is a 10 to 15. Based on Jones and Twist 10 to 50. Small number of the expert can use in the fuzzy Delphi method. The same like the interpretive structural modeling. ISM only 9 to 12. That is from the Heavy and Holmes. State about the ideal of the expert can involve in the interpretive structural modeling is a 6 to 12. That is the ideal numbers of the expert. Okay. All right. Okay. This one is a method you can use. Okay. All right. Design and development. Like if you use a model, you can use the fuzzy Delphi method. You can use interpretive structural modeling and etc. All right. Okay. Dia macam lagging lah. I think I kena stopkan video. Boleh Boleh tak lagging?
Ya, Cik, boleh.
Right. Okay. Now we go to the third phase. For that I want to show you Okay. Actually, in the second phase, we have the two elements. First element is the design, and the second element is the develop. Okay. Normally, in design, reka bentuk means design, right? Normally, in design, you can use literature. That is a compulsory to you to use the literature review. And after that, you can choose whether you want to use the interview, you want to use the nominal group technique, or you want to use the fuzzy Delphi method. Okay, that is for the define the element. That is in the design phase. After that, in development, basically we can use the interpretive structural modeling. Like last month, I had one of the researcher from the USM to want to develop the model using the ISM, interpretive structural modeling. And you can also use the AHP, analytical hierarchy process, fuzzy, and you can use the fuzzy Delphi method. That is based on you. Okay, in development, if you want to develop a model, basically you can use the ISM and the fuzzy AHP fuzzy. And you can also use the fuzzy Delphi method like Dr. Hassan here. Dr. Hassan here, my students, use the fuzzy Delphi method to develop their product, their model, their new model for the smallholder in the palm oil. Okay. But if you want to develop a module, you can use the FDM, fuzzy Delphi method. Right? Okay. I will show you about the example of the thesis. Example of the thesis in the second phase. Actually, for the Dr. Nur Rabiha in the development of the design thinking model for the primary school, she used the literature review, number one, and for the design, and for the design, actually she used the literature review and discuss with the expert based on the based on the focus group discussion using the nominal group technique. And she start to develop their product, their model using the interpretive structural modeling. For the Dr. Khairul Nuzul, for the learning model based on the ICT for the vocational college, he used the literature review and the interview to design the element and start to develop their product using the Fuzzy Delphi method. And for the Dr. Habibah Artini, for the professionalism of the teacher, Islamic education teacher model, she used the literature review and content analysis to design the element, then start to develop their product, their model using the Fuzzy Delphi method. That is based on you. But just now I said, if you want to choose that method, you must have the justification why you choose that method for measure your element, for measure your products. Okay? All right. And then this one is the example of the base model. Wait, I want to. All right. One is an example of the base model for the design and development in second phase. For Dr. Nur Rabiha, to develop their model about the design thinking for the primary school, she based on the two model. That model will help to produce the element of their model. The first model is the model bimbingan pelajar, and the second model is the model pemikiran reka bentuk. Okay. Actually, for me, in my PhD, to develop my training curriculum model, in the second phase, I use the Taba curriculum model and mix with the SIM training model to produce my element. Then that models, that element will discuss using the focus group discussion and analyze using the Fuzzy Delphi method. That is my research. Okay, I'm graduate 2016. Okay, for the Dr. Abdul Muhsin. Okay, for the base model for the second phase, he used the model, a priority model mixed with the value model and start to develop, and the third model is an inquiry model to develop the model, any model for the skill training center. All right, this is an example of the thesis, the base model we use in second phase. Actually, the base model for the second phase is a very important to you. It must relate with your research. Just now I said about the counseling. If you want to make a model for counseling, maybe you must choose the previous counseling model, and you must give the justification why you choose that model. Okay? The justification is to make sure your model, your new model is a very empirical model. That's why you must base on the previous model. All right? Okay. This one is the example of the research question for the second phase. Actually, the primary of the question of primary of the question for the second phase is to design and develop model based on what, and the sub question is like this lah. This one to define what the primary component of primary topic, what's the activity, what's the content, what the evaluation part. If you make a module, you can base on that. All right, that is based on what's the product you want to produce. If you want to produce a module, maybe your research question in the second phase, it must focus on the content of your module, the topic, the activity, the element, the strategy of teaching and learning, and then evaluation maybe. Okay. All right. This one is the data finding for the second phase. Actually, I use the fuzzy Delphi method to make sure all of the component will be measured and will be discussed with the expert consensus. All right. Okay. This one is the element of the component. Okay. I just put a part of my data finding in my thesis here. If you want to look at about my thesis, you can go to repository, just type Muhammad Ridhuan and curriculum Stevens model. Inshallah, you can get that's my thesis for your reference. Okay, this one is data finding. I don't want to share with you. I don't want to elaborate how this data come. That is the one of the data finding from the fuzzy Delphi method. Maybe IPS will invite me again to share about how analyze and how to introduce about the fuzzy Delphi method and how to analyze, how to use the template I built before this to get the data of the fuzzy Delphi method. Okay. All right. This one is the ISM. Maybe also ISM. I will share with you, but not today. Today only for the DDR. So maybe after this, we can share about the ISM. All right, this is my model. Okay, okay. Settle for the second phase. Before we go to the third phase, do you have any question to ask me?
Doktor,
Silakan.
untuk model sandaran kita perlu follow 100% ke pada kita adopt ataupun kita boleh adapt sesuaikan ikut keadaan?
Okay. Macam saya akan buat dua dan saya gabungkan dua model tu dan saya justifikan every component yang I choose tu. Actually, any component I choose, I will make the justification, I make the explanations. Then I have the one of the component when I discuss with the expert, I add the one of the component and I explain it. This is very important. Selalunya ada orang mix kan, ada orang buat 3 model, gabung 3 model dan akhirnya keluarkan model dia, elemen model dia. Okay, Dr. Nick, boleh
Ada soalan lagi. Ada limitation of model tak untuk model sandaran fasa 2 ni?
Okay, selagi you boleh bagi justifikasi, kalau saya punya cukup 2 saja. Actually, I enough of 2 model to make sure all of my model can implement to the user actually. Based on you. Normally, based my experience, when I moderate, I help the researcher on the PhD candidate or for research grant, 2 or 3 model enough.
Okay,
That is my you cannot cite my word, that is my experience.
Okay, Doktor. Terima kasih.
Macam you kan, Jamalia, maybe you ada teaching, learning or in the mathematics model. Maybe you mix with the ICT model.
Okay.
Okay.
Cukup dua tu. Okay, terima kasih Doktor.
Okay, tak tahu lagi. Kena tanya supervisor. Cukup tak cukup? Takut saya sebab saya tak tengok the whole of your research.
Ya, okay.
Alright. Okay, anything else to ask me before we go to the evaluations?
Ya, Dokter ingin bertanya.
Ya, silakan. Ibu Rizky, bagaimana kamu? Sekarang kamu sudah habis masters?
PhD kemarin pembentangan dari
sudah bagus. Kamu sudah pergi jauh ya?
Proposal.
Hebat kamu nih.
Baru proposal, Prof. Dokter.
Oke.
Saya ingin bertanya, setelah kita produce di elemen melalui literatur review in phase 2, sebelum kita ke fuzzy Delphi method, apakah perlu elemen the base element kita kukuhkan atau validate terhadap ahli dulu sebelum ke fuzzy Delphi method, Dokter? Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua,
kena bayar nih, banyak soalan.
2 saja, Dokter. Untuk melakukan fuzzy Delphi method, mana yang lebih baik? Apakah kita bersemuka bertemu ekspor atau bisa via email seperti itu, Dokter? Thank you.
Okay. Saya kena jawab dalam bahasa Indonesia ke bahasa Malaysia?
Oh, free, bebas.
Bebas Okey, aman ya. Okey, siap. Okey, sebelum itu saya boleh sebut Rizky, saya teringat Pak Cecep. Pak Cecep, are you here? Pak Cecep Parmana, are you here? Okey, kita jawab dulu ya. Okay, for the first question from Rizky about Rizky asked me about when settle to produce the element using the literature review. That is better or not? We try to validate first before we go to fuzzy Delphi, or just go to the fuzzy Delphi. Okay, that's why. Okay, Pak Cecep sudah jawab ya, Pak Cecep. Suaranya tiada ya, Pak Cecep. Okay. The best is, for me, in the design, actually when you make the literature review, you come out with the elements or component. That is from literature. The best is, after you come out it, you bring that element to the interview or to the focus group discussion with the expert to make sure that element is suitable and good for your research in your field. After that, you go to the fuzzy Delphi method. That is my suggestion. Okay. Rizky menjawab ya soalan pertama?
Ya, oke, dokter.
Okay, for the second question from Rizky asked me the better use the face-to-face with the physical to make the discussion using the fuzzy Delphi method with the expert, or just use the online. Okay. Actually, technology must help you as a human. Okay? If you don't have the problem, if you want to make the expert using the face-to-face with the physical, it's better. But you can use the technology using the online face-to-face online with the expert to make sure your finding can get the consensus. No problem. That is based on you, based on your time, based on your expert time. That is based on what the justification you want to use, right? For my student, actually, before this, Dr. Hassan Marzuki, inshallah, will viva in 20 September. He get the data of the fuzzy Delphi method at the MCO last 2 years. The best is he will use the online session. But the risk if you use the online session, you compulsory to clear about your research to your expert. Maybe you can give your element 2 weeks before the focus group session happen. Maybe you can give your element before you make your discussion using the online. Alright? Okay?
Oke, thank you, dokter.
Dokter,
Ya, seorang-seorang.
di focus group discussion itu untuk validate desain kita berapa orang expert, dokter?
Oh, based on the method you use. If you use interview, maybe from the Creswell 3 to 10 of the informant based on your focus of your research. If you use the focus group discussion, if you use the nominal group technique, maybe 6 to 9. That is based on what's the method you use. Okay?
Thank you.
Alright. Okay?
Doktor nak tanya.
Tak boleh, Syahidah.
Syahidah ni.
Tak boleh tanya.
Doktor,
Tak boleh WhatsApp
nak
aku je.
praktis saja. Nak
Baca.
satu-satu je soalan.
Tanyalah.
Doktor, adakah pakar yang kita gunakan untuk interview dalam fasa 2, kita bangunkan lepas kita come out element with literature, dan kita reka bentuk, kita design dengan interview. Adakah pakar yang sama kita guna interview tu Fuzzy Delphi untuk develop?
Sebaiknya begitu. Sebaiknya begitu. Contoh.
Yes, terima kasih.
Okay, kenapa saya cakap itu? What is my justification? Okay, you come up with you produce your element based on literature review. Then you choose the 3 expert. You make an interview session with the expert. Then the 3 expert you can take as an expert for development. Maybe you use the Fuzzy Delphi method. Your numbers of the experts is 10. So just 3 plus a 7 expert. Then you can give that element. The expert will be answer all of the questionnaire. Then you can make the analysis using the Fuzzy Delphi methods. Why? To make sure the consistency, the element happen between the design and the development. Okay? Between the design and the development. Okay? Alright. Okay, anything else to ask me? Lapak ayak. Kalau orang Kedah kata lapak ayak, cakap banyak ni. Ada soalan lagi? Hello, tak ada dah? Oh,
Morning, doktor.
Morning.
Doktor, saya Maren. Saya nak tanya sikit.
Okay, Maren daripada mana?
Maren, saya ni dari UPSI juga. Saya student PhD. Okey, doktor, macam ni. Baru-baru ni saya duduk untuk
nalar ke? Tarik ke?
Nalar ke?
Okey. Kurang mana, Ren?
Baru-baru ni saya duduk untuk data defense.
Okey.
Okey, semua goes well. Hanya ada 2 soalan daripada panel tu. Saya rasa suka sikit lah nak explain. So saya nak dapatkan tips daripada doktor.
Oh, itu kena bayar tu.
Tak, soalan dia macam ni.
Bayar pada tu Ada Puan Su.
Ya.
Okey, sila.
Boleh.
Gurau, okey.
Okey doktor. Ni apa soalan pertama dia tanya, panel tanya kenapa you guna 2 metodologi dalam satu kajian. Dan saya tanyalah apa metodologi yang dimasukkan oleh panel dan dia kata okey, Adi itu satu metodologi, Didia itu satu metodologi. So mereka seolah-olah menggambarkan Adi itu bukan model, itu satu metodologi. Adakah itu betul ataupun macam mana kita nak counter back? Itu soalan pertama. Soalan kedua, okey, saya guna FDM untuk fasa 2 reka bentuk. Bila saya bagi justification pemilihan elemen dan komponen itu semua berdasarkan pada cadangan dan saranan daripada pakar, panel tu cakap ini kajian you bukan kajian pakar. Jangan semua ikut pada pakar saja. Dan itu 2 soalan lah menjadi kemuskilan untuk saya counter back. So saya nak dapatkan nasihat daripada doktor lah. Thank you doktor.
Nasihat saya, you banyakkan berdoa supaya diberi kelembutan hati kepada panel-panel itu. Oh, saya tak boleh jawab lah. Tapi for my suggestion.
Okay, doktor.
ADI is a one type of the model development. It same like a Azure. It same like the Isman model. Kalau you pernah dengar Prof. Isman from the Turkiye University. This professor developed a new instructional model, then we call it the Isman model. That is one type of the instructional development model. That is from my knowledge lah. Okay, I don't know how to answer your question. And then CDIC actually like a CDIC model. CDIC model is the one type of the development model to develop a module based on the research doing by Professor CDIC. So how come? I don't know if I'm as your panel. I will ask you why you choose AD model to develop your model. Okay. And then why you choose the DDR, what the difference of the DDR and AD. Okay. Just now, I talk about the DDR. DDR is not a model. DDR is approach. The function of the DDR ally of the umbrella term. In DDR, we have the model development model like AD, Azure, and etc. Okay. If you don't want to choose the AD as your base model for the development, no problem. No problem. But you can use the DDR. If you want to use both, it's okay and no problem also. Because DDR is the umbrella term and AD inside in DDR. Okay, actually DDR we have the need analysis. DDR we have the design and development. DDR we have the evaluation. In AD we have the analysis. Analysis will go to the first phase in DDR, need analysis. DD, design and development in AD will go to the second phase, and implementation and evaluation will go to the third phase in DDR, in evaluation. Okay? All right. I hope my play safe answer can help you, Dr. Maran. All right.
Ya, Doktor.
Okay. Okay, the second thing. I forgot the second thing. Okay. Why you punya soalan ni bahaya. Saya sebut salah nak jawab. Actually, when we make a PhD, we try to be a scholar. Okay, for me lah. Okay. If I your reader or your panel, I will ask you, how you choose the panel of the expert? Can you give me the justification and the criteria of your expert? That is my question. Okay. Then, if you make a PhD, you want to be a scholar. Yes. You can give your opinion, but to make sure your research is empirical, you need get all the voice of the expert in the field. Janganlah awak buat bahasa Tamil, awak ambil pakar bahasa Arab. Kalau you buat bahasa Tamil, your expert in bahasa Tamil. So we need the expert. That's why I said just now, if I panel for you, I am the validator for you, I will ask you, how you choose the expert? What the criteria you use to make sure your expert is expert? Okay? That's all. Cukup. Cukup. Enough for my play safe answer. Okay?
Thank you, Doktor.
Alright. Okay, anything else? Okay, I speak in Malay first. Actually, evaluation in DDR. Kalau kita lihat pada pandangan Matt and Shapless pada tahun 2009, beliau menyatakan bahawa suatu pengukuran terhadap kebudayaan sesebuah produk yang dihasilkan dan dibangunkan serta digunakan pakai oleh pengguna produk itu sendiri. Itu adalah evaluation. Okay? Dan ia boleh dilihat daripada 3 aspek. Pandangan Milano and Ullius dalam training model talk about that the aspect we can look about like effectiveness, efficiency and satisfaction of user. Di mana setiap aspek bergantung kepada produk yang dihasilkan. Dan pandangan Zhang and Zhang 2012 menyatakan secara tuntas bahawa produk yang dibangunkan boleh lihat kebolehgunaannya melalui pendapat dan persepsi pengguna yang arif. Meaning that the end user will be expert in your product. Okay, dalam DDR kita ada 2. Satu, penilaian dalaman, dan yang kedua ialah penilaian luaran. Okay. Alright. Dalam actually in the third phase, evaluation in DDR, actually we have the there is a need to show the evidence and empirical support for the effectiveness model and not rely on an unfounded claim and statement of effectiveness. Meaning that in DDR, evaluation in DDR, we can divide by two types. One type is about the usability or validity or integrity of the product, that we call it the internal evaluation. And the second is about the external evaluation, that is to look about to prove the effectiveness of your product. How to determine? Okay. How you want to determine? You must use the internal evaluation or the external evaluation. Okay. It must based on your problem statement. It must based on your suggestion in your problem statement. If your suggestion from the problem statement, this model or this product must develop because it will help as a guidance for the teacher to teach their students, that is only for internal evaluation. But if your product, the suggestion of your product can enhance their knowledge of the students, it's referred to in external evaluation. Okay? If you make an external evaluation, compulsory to you to make internal evaluation. But if your suggestion only make the internal evaluation, just only that. Okay? Alright. Okay, for this product, okay, now we look at to the internal evaluation. The internal evaluation just focus the integrity, the validity, the useful of the product, of the content of the product, and how the product can use in the real situation. Okay, example, how that product can help the teacher to teach their students. So in internal evaluation, the question only about the how the step of the product can help their teacher to teach their students, or how does this product, the new product, can give the problem solving, can make a solution for the problem in your state in problem statement. That is the internal evaluation. Okay, now we go to the external evaluation. External evaluation is about the impact of the product. Okay, you want to know about when you state about this in your problem statement, this product can help, can improve, can make and enhance the student knowledge. So meaning that enhancement means from the lower to the higher knowledge for the student. You must make the external evaluation that is related with the quasi-experimental, that's related with the single truth experimental. Okay, but before you make the effectiveness, you make the external evaluation, compulsory to make the internal evaluation, because the internal evaluation can help you to make sure the integrity, the validity of the content of product is suitable for your end user. Okay, so I hope you can understand that is the difference of the evaluation in DDR. Conclusion is, in evaluation, in third phase of the evaluation in DDR, we can choose either we want to make the only internal evaluation, or you must make internal evaluation plus with the external evaluation. So how to know, how to choose that evaluation? It must based on your problem statement in chapter 1. if your chapter 1 state about in-problem statement, you suggest to develop a product to guide or to help the teacher to teach their student, only the internal evaluation, you just do it. But if you suggestion in your problem statement, you need to develop a new product to make sure the changing of the attitude to enhance their knowledge of the student, that is related with the effectiveness, that is related with the impact. You must make the external evaluation, and before you make an external evaluation, do an internal evaluation first. Right? So I hope you can understand about the evaluation in BPR. All right? This method, I will show you this method. Actually, for the evaluation, if you want to use the internal evaluation, you can use the Delphi method. It relates with the expert as a participant in your third phase. Or you can use the fuzzy Delphi method. Also use the expert. The expert in the third phase must difference with the expert in the second phase. Actually, basically, in the third phase, the expert is like a experienced teacher. Like if you want to develop a new product, like in a mathematics, so you can take a teacher, mathematics teacher, experienced mathematics teacher as your expert to evaluate the integrity of the content of your product. Okay. All right. You can use also structural equation modeling when you develop a new product, a new model, or new module. You use the SEM or PLS. You just want to know about the what we call it parallel inline of the expert view to develop their product in which the expert in the field to use your product in the third phase. Okay, you also can use a questionnaire. You can use an interview. You can make the experimental test like the quasi-experimental or single-through experimental. And you can use also modified nominal group technique. Actually, based on you, you must give the justification why you choose that method. Okay, basically, if you read about the journal, the journal about the critical field like the medical education, medical education, a very critical field about the doctor, how to make the operation, to evaluate the medical tools, and normally that field always use the modified nominal group technique, because nominal group technique, the procedure of nominal group technique compulsory to meet all of the expert and discuss about the tool in medical. I give the example like surgeon. Surgeon. If we design a new what we call it, pisau bedah tu apa? Operation knife. Operation knife. Who can evaluate that product? Only surgeon can make an evaluation of that product. Only the surgeon can make and comment and give a suggestion about that medical products. Okay, so how to evaluate? The modified nominal group technique can help you. All right. Okay. Actually, Delphi method, fuzzy Delphi method, SEM, PLS, questionnaire, interview, modified nominal technique, one type of the method for the internal evaluation. For the external evaluation, we can use the experimental test, like a quasi, like a single true experimental. Okay, all right. we are finished. Okay, I want to show you example evaluation in previous research. Like my research, 2016, I developed a new model about the training model. I use the modified nominal group technique. I choose the lecturer from any discipline of the engineering to evaluate my model and to give the suggestion and make the improvement for my model. Okay, for Dr. Musid, for any model for the skill training center, he used the fuzzy Delphi methods, and the Dr. Nizam for the model M learning, he used the interview to evaluate their product. All right. Okay. The next. Okay, this one is a sample example of the research objective for the third phase. Third phase. All right. Okay, this one is data finding. You can look at about this data finding in my thesis. Just now I said if you want to refer my thesis, you just type UN repo, type my name Muhammad Ridhuan, Skives. Okay, you can take my thesis from there. Okay. Right. Okay, this one is a matrix. This is very important to you to show the matrix. Before you make the summary of the chapter 3, make sure you make the research matrix. So if you look at here, we have the phase 1, we have the research question, we have the method we will use, and which we can look at about the number of respondents. The expert will involve with this research. Okay. Okay, this one is for the second phase. This one is for the second phase. Here you can look at about the research method. Here, and the informant or participant involved with this research. And the last is the third phase. Now we go to the summarize of the three phases in DDR. When we look at about the analysis, it's focused about to clarify the issues in your problem statement. It's involved with the qualitative or quantitative methods. It's a very critical because the purpose is to make sure your product can be developed based on the problem statement. And the second phase, you must follow all the procedure of the methods. And the second phase is the design and development. You must choose the best method to develop and design your product. And the last is the evaluation, the function of the evaluation to evaluate the usability, the impact, the efficiency, the effectiveness of your product. In DDR, it's based on the internal or the external evaluation. And the last, you must follow all procedure of the method you use in your research. Okay, this one is the time frame. Actually, the GOT is come from the Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, from God. But we must prepare when we make a PhD. We must have a time frame to make sure all the research can be on time in your planning of your research. Okay, all right. For the first year, you have the 4 months to make sure you find the gap, literature, what the theory or model you can use, and start to prepare and develop your proposal, and go to the seminar 1. We call it the proposal, and you have a 2 months to make a correction for the different proposal and start to make the phase 1 in need analysis. And WF1 stand for the writing of phase 1. And then the second year, you start to develop you design and develop your product, and on the third year also you must have make evaluations, and then in third year you go to the maybe the data finding presentation or seminar, or you make the pre-viva and try to make a notice for the submit the viva in the April in third year, because actually basically for the examiner, IGS give the 2 or 3 months to read all the thesis, and then after that you will go to the viva, right? Inshallah. Okay, I hope all of you can on time GLT best in your viva, inshallah, and will be graduates, inshallah. Okay. Okay, this one is my book. Actually, this book dah tak ada dah. Inshallah, I will give the application of the fuzzy method in electrical research. This one is from the from the Pearson International. I published in 2013. I start my PhD in 2013 before I make the presentation for the defense proposal. My supervisor asked me to write a book chapter and publish in Pearson International. And the last book is here. Sorry for the international student. Now I'm trying to write my book in English, inshallah. But this book dah cetakan ketiga, third printings about the kepelbagaian metodologi dan pendidikan, rekomendasi pembangunan. 338 pages. I have the 5 method here. DDR. Also we have the Delphi method, fuzzy Delphi method. Also we have the interpretive structure modeling, and the last is a nominal group techniques. Okay, you can buy this book from this link. Okay, this link you can take this link. InsyaAllah dah kat Shopee lah. Dan I try to make the new book and try to publish in UPSI Press, insyaAllah. InsyaAllah. Okay, kalau tak ada apa-apa lagi, saya serahkan kepada Puan Su.